Hey Dreamers, this is Plays, and well, you're probably going to guess it. We're going to have a new video, a new update video actually. And I kind of want to stand still here because I don't want to show you yet. I have like the video that I like. Well, a little bit before I'm going to talk into this whole creation. A little bit like a disclaimer. It is super hot inside my house right now at the moment of recording. It's insane. There's a fan blowing. The only fan I have is is blowing to me, and so I tested a little bit of the audio before I was going to record. You're not really hearing much, but probably if I talk a little bit, you're going to hear like maybe have some small breathing here and there, or like that's not me breathing, but it's just like also me, but also the fan is like blowing close to my face. But I have a good setup, so it's reduced a lot. But just a little bit of this disclaimer there. Another householding thing before we're actually going to go into this creation. I updated a few things in this creation, of course. But before I'm going to talk through that, I still want to like say something. In the previous video, in the previous recording video about Project Fantieval, I talked about like the fine-tuning part of this creation. And I really want to like say this because like you have to know that most of the creation is done, like world base wise, like world building wise, is done. The only thing that I'm now mostly going to do, and that's also why I'm probably going to have like a smaller type of videos, hopefully smaller than normal, because although I still have a lot of like to show, by the way, in this creation. I have been doing a lot of stuff, but it's more fine tuning. So it's more of like a little bit of like the dots on the I basically, and changing a few stuff here and there if I don't like some placements, or if I don't like some color stuff, or I'm probably going to like change the color here and there. So it's mostly that, and yeah, so keep in mind it's a little bit of like a smaller video, smaller updates, but I want to show it anyway because like in this video, like I say small updates, and I did quite a lot of stuff still, but it's more going into the tiny details instead of like the big changing in the overworld. So if you're curious about how this is going to look now, and yeah, stay tuned. So let's go straight into it, shall we? All right, so as you can see, we still have the lovely view of this creation, and we have the floating islands, of course, the well-known floating islands. So that's all still the same, although you're probably already, maybe for the good paying attention people out there, you're probably already going to change a few stuff, or see a few changes that have been done. The color of the ground has changed also. It's been a little bit more detailed, a little bit more smaller assets, so it looked a little bit more that you actually walk over it. Before they were I enlarged them just to reduce a little bit of the gameplay thermo, but now that I have a lot of gameplay thermo left, I can go a little bit more nuts on it. So I fine-tuned a little bit of the ground, so it's a little bit more, yeah, toned down a little bit, so you feel actually like it's still like what you're like expected from the Once Upon a Time forest that I did a few years ago in Dreams. And I placed a little bit of like rocks and flowers, and yeah, and then tree and stuff like that. Grass, a little bit like rechanging the position. I added a fence, basically so that I show the player, okay, this is where you can only wander around and you cannot jump over it. So I already have a barrier, but I wanted to make it a little bit more believable barrier. Not like it's an, yeah, you can like, hey, why can I like go there? Oh, right, there is like a fence, even though technically you can jump over it if you in real life. But I really want to do this because like, yeah, it gives a little bit more reasonable why you cannot jump over it, because like maybe you have like something on your feet that maybe still heavy that you're gonna so I have like a fence here, although there's no fence in this spot. Maybe I'm going to change that a little bit. I still need to figure out how I'm going to design it a little bit. But here's my camera starting, but basically you can still walk here till this tree trunk, fallen tree, but we cannot go over it. We cannot go there. We cannot like wander around there. And I also want to have like a fence here. I have not really done that. Maybe I'm going to open up a little bit more space to walk around. I don't want to like, yeah, narrow down a little bit too much. And maybe I'm going to give a little bit more room here, to wiggle room to like walk around a little bit of the stones. I will see how far I will let the player go. But for now, like, you cannot go further than this place here. But I think I'm maybe going to open it a little bit up, but not too much. I don't want like that you can wandering around a little bit too far there, because then you're going to see that this creation is mostly focused on its detail and not like in the distance, because then you're going to see how it's been made, and I don't want that. So I have to be a little bit cleverly. Also, another thing that I have been noticing recently in when I was like recording is when and this is also a little bit like when I was like recording and switching, my game gets darker as soon as I open Streamlabs. My game got darker, and it happened in Streamlabs, and it also happens on my monitor. And so I had to fine tune a little bit of like the contrast here and there. So you're probably going to maybe notice a little bit of like the contrast difference between this video and the previous video, because like I was struggling a little bit with that. So it's not too much of a big change, but I think you're noticing a little bit of the difference there. So this is still the same with the little houses, and you can wander a little bit. You can get closer here. You cannot go there. I will not let you. Sorry. But these houses are very low quality, so I rather want to keep them in the distance for like the believable. There's like still like a village out there, but you can still like walk around against this fence and check the garden a little bit and the water over there. Although, yeah. So now I was thinking about something, but like it's all right. So yeah, you can wandering around a little bit, like walk around, like walk through the butterflies that's flying around here. There's also a little other creature here, and I managed to do it. I need to see where it is. Where is it? Where are you? It's a very tiny little detail. Oh, there it is. Here. It's a little bee. It's a little bee like zooming around. There he goes. It's probably not the same bee that I had in the Once Upon a Time Forest. I couldn't find it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to but yeah, it's like a little bee like flying around through the plants and stuff like that. I'm going to like save the bee in the Once Upon a Time Forest, because the reason why is because I think that was more believable, a more believable bee, and I couldn't really find it anymore. I tried to search in the Dreamiverse, or someone deleted it. I don't know if it was from Minimalkin themselves or from I think it was from a creator. Maybe they deleted it, but so yeah, we'll see if I can grab it out of the Once Upon a Time Forest. So here we have the post. We all have seen it already. That's like with the bird on it. And before I'm actually going inside the bar, I still want to like show a little bit like around it. So I changed a little bit of like its design, basically. Like I placed a little bit more trees, feel a little bit more alive at the location where the house is standing. You're probably also going to notice a little bit of like that there's like some like house design changes there. I will come back to that later. But the entrance is a little bit of like it's kind of the same, but I changed it a little bit of like when you're going into this pathway. I thought of like, yeah, like just like how I had the statues in the back, I also want to have like the flowers are popping up a little bit more higher up, so you feel that this is like an entrance. I'm maybe going to do them later on in the bridge as well. It's a small bridge. I don't have water under it, so it's not like a bridge where I don't know why this bridge is here. Maybe that I don't know. It's don't ask me that stuff. It's all fantasy. Like maybe there was a big wall or like a defense wall back in the days. I don't know. But yeah, I'm probably going to change like still that the flowers is like returning stuff here on the pathway. I didn't really change much on this side, but I'm going to show you a little bit anyway how it looks right now. It's still pretty much the same with the bird standing there, and I will let the player stop here. So I will have like a invisible wall basically, where this little creature is like telling you, sorry, I made a big mess, so you cannot get through right now, but I have to go to the restaurant or the bar or something like that. So I have like a little dialogue there. You can I will have like some self-thoughts. So if you don't want to speak with him, he does have like a little self-thoughts, or just mumbling in himself, saying like, oh my gosh, something like that. And then if you want to like talk to him, and then you can ask what happened, and maybe with some like multiple choice, want to make a bit more like interacting in this creation. So not only that you walk around in it, but also have a little bit of like an interaction with the character that are there. That's the plan though. That's the plan. So let's go back to the house, because like I don't really have much changed. I think I already showed the well over there. Well. Not really changed here. So what I mostly changed is a little bit in the front of the house. So what we had before, I had this brick. I had that repeated all the way like sideways the house, and I was looking at it a few times back and forth, and I was like, I'm not really feeling this. I am not really feeling that the brick wall like is like is a continuation of the brick wall. Continuing the brick wall. And it really didn't like. I don't know. I didn't feel it. So what I did is just like stop it here. So here it's where maybe I can just like remove it altogether, but I'm not going to do that, because then I need to figure out something else to let the player know like, okay, I cannot go here. So now there is a sensible like stuff to know like, okay, I cannot get there because like there's a fence. So I'll keep it like here, like this probably. And I placed a tree here, so you can also think like, oh, okay, we can go there with a tree up there. I know it doesn't really make much sense, but it's game logic. I have to think about something, right? So yeah, what I changed mostly here is a little bit around the corner, a little bit like more greenery, and changed a few like the colors in the plants. Also the staircase is a little bit different now. So basically it's like an extension. So before where the first stair is, that's where the brick wall was first. And I changed that now to a staircase, so an extension of the staircase. So, and it makes more sense. I think makes more sense at all. I don't know. Maybe I will put the post a little bit further as well, so like it's sticking out a little bit. I think I really love that instead of this. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to like let them stick out a little bit with the railing. And or is it railing, called railing curbs? I don't know, railing. And then like then I feel that like it's really nice looking. It sticks out a little bit. So that's going to be a change for next video. Also, you probably have noticed a little bit, I am not really done yet, but I was working. It was like the last thing that I worked on before I was thinking, let me record this and show you what I have so far. The path continue. So what I did is like showing you a little bit of like where the path is going to lead and how it's going to look like. So you basically go downstairs. I didn't finish this, of course, obviously, because you can already like now look under everything. Or what I'm going to do is then I let them keeping like, you go down and then straight path, and then you go down again and then straight path, down again, until a certain point that I think like, okay, this player cannot see it anymore. I'm going to make, or not, I'm not going to make it, but I'm going to find a fence. I will show you later. I have still some wiggle room with the graphics terminal left. I'm super happy that I managed to do that. But I'm going to make a gate here, and that's closed, and it will be open, or you will be able to get in there if I'm going to decide to make this in continuation in this creation. So if you want to see a follow-up about the city itself, just let me know in the comments if you want to see that, or comment me on the Dreamiverse itself. So yeah, that's basically the staircase, a little bit the idea. And of course, I haven't really finished the this part yet. The house is going to be a little bit like more in the distance, and then the extension still. I'm going to like mix up a little bit with rocks on the side and with stone on the side, and the other side grass fields and a little bit houses as a distance, to give it a little bit really nice looking. I really love this view, to be honest, like with the sun just like just coming through to the treetops, and then like looking like inside that like pathway. I really love that view, even though it's not finished yet, but I already love the view there. That's pretty much it from outside the house. I didn't really change much of the house itself anymore. I did tweak a few things. There were some errors, but I'm not going to talk about that because that's more fine-tuning stuff. I did, however, change a lot inside, and I'm going to show you. So let's go. So you're going to like go up in the staircase. You have like a prompt saying square. So if you press that one, and as you can see, there's only one square button. As I said, I'm going to fix this. So you can walk through this, and while we're walking through this, it's changing the side. So it means that like we can also like open and close the door from the other side as well. Although I'm just going to change this still a little bit here, that like once you're stepping inside this location, the door automatically is going to close down. And I will tell you in the last part of this video, so if you don't want to watch it too long, I will tell you in the last part of the video why I'm going to do this. Okay, so what has been changed inside the bar? Well, pretty much a lot. I changed the placements of the tables, so they're a little bit closer to the entrance. And I gave them a little bit more food and drinks, so now you can actually see that they are drinking something and having a good time, except for this guy. Well, maybe he has a good time, but he pretty much is a waste and passed out. And you can see they have like ordered different drinks, and there's actually something saying on that. If you're curious about it, well, I can show you. I'm going to show you anyway. There's like actually saying something that you on those bottles, and those bottles. It's not like random names. It actually is coming from the main menu. So here we have like the menu, and I already showed that in the previous video. But here's basically the menu. I tweaked a little bit of like the placement and the price a little bit here and there. But like the drinks, like the Red Mind Flyer, the Vampire's Teeth, and the Tiny Kyrie, those are actually you can order, and that's what these people have. So a little bit of a tiny detail there. This guy has a Tiny Kyrie, I think. Yes. And here you can see what you can order. So she has like the bartender has like all those bottles, and the Tiny Kyrie is of course the smallest bottle, and the Vampire's Teeth is a little bit bigger, and the most expensive one is the Red Mind Flyer. It's sort of wine. I don't know, like I think it's sort of wine. So this is the bar, and as you already can tell from the previous video, the bar has been extended, so it's not like a small tiny bar anymore. The bar has been extended, so you can sit here if you want to. I kind of felt that the bar that we had before was very tiny, right? It was a very small, tiny bar, and it didn't really feel to be an actually bar. It felt like more of like a desk where someone was standing on, and really didn't feel like it. So I really want like a stand at the bar a little bit. So yeah, so to make it a little bit more bar feel, and also like extended the ceiling with the lanterns. So I spread them a little bit more out, but I'm also extending the whole thing on there as well, so that you have like a little bit of light on the table as well. I still need to place here a little bit of like a light source, a tiny little light source, so it's not completely too dark here. And also probably you're going to notice there is the door. Right, and there was no there before. There was no door there. Door there. Door there. There was no door there before. So basically, you're not allowed to go there. Well, you can go there, but you're not allowed to open this door because it's only for personnel. So it's only for this little girl, this dragon. Oh, it's like I don't know, vampire girl. There's for this girl, she's only one allowed to go there, so we are not allowed to go inside or outside that door. But I really want to place the door there because, like, I thought, like, yeah, it makes more sense for personnel if they want to get some stuff outside, new barrels or new drinks and stuff like that. So I thought it was a cool idea. Another thing that I have been added is these blades. These blades in the design are the same, but I changed the color. It's a small update, so I'm not going to like talk a little bit too long over it. But it's a small update because like the previous swords were very bright in color. Like the person who made these blades probably had it in mind for a cartoon character that he or she was creating. But it really didn't fit in here, so I already said in previous I'm going to tweak that and change that. I did it now, so those swords are now a little bit more believable in the color tone and in the color scheme, and now it feels like it's actually belonging in this world, in this bar. Also changed a little bit of like the statue here of the wolf, a little bit of like the color, a little bit make it more darker. I don't know. Maybe it was going to be a candle on the top of it, so we have a little bit of a light source here standing. That's maybe an idea, although there's also a fire. And what we did more... Oh, yes, and we have, of course, a little moose antlers on top of this room board. So in the previous video, it was saying latrine or something like that, or... yeah, I think it was latrine saying... Now it's called rooms. And there's like with a little with like an antler on top of it. I can maybe reuse them here and there. Don't know if I'm going to do that or not. I don't know. I also changed the swords over here. Basically are the same ones that we saw at the fireplace. I changed... Oh yeah, also what we have changed is because like this is now the door to the room, right? So if you have like, if you want to like rent a room to sleep on for a day or two, I really wanted to believe there was like a staircase happening. And how are you going to let the player believe that even though you cannot go inside this or go upstairs, but you still want to make the player believe that there is a staircase happening? And how are you going to do that? By doing this. So there's like a little bit of like a tweak in the house design. So what I did, I make it a little bit more like crooked version of the ceiling. So now the player knows like, oh, wait a minute. So that's where like the staircase little happens. So basically it starts here and then it goes in a circle basically. And then like it goes up there and then you are in one of the room location. I'm maybe going to consider to do it in a separate scene if you want that. If you want me to build this in continuation and make it a exploration gameplay out of this, who knows? Not much changed here. Still the board design here with the candle on there as well. I didn't have the candle before. I think they're a little bit too big. I think I'm going to make them smaller. The same with on the main menu. I think I'm going to make them a little bit more smaller so it feels a little bit more inside the creation. I think it's a little bit too big right now. And what we also have changed is we have now also, if you don't want to sit on one of these things, on one of these tables, and maybe it's super crowded, maybe you're coming to a day when there's so many people inside here in the bar having a good time. It's daytime, so not many people are here eating and drinking. Only the locals right now. But if it's getting super crowded, and you cannot like sit somewhere, you can stand. And so what I did was like I reused, of course, assets. I reused that barrel and I flipped a few things, so it makes a little bit more sense. So now like it's a little bit of like an extensional table where you can sit on, and then not sit on, but you stand on and drink, having a good time and lean on it. There's another one here. So the reason why I did that, I thought it was funny to do it because like it feels more like a bar right now. And when I had like those pillars made out of wood, out of tree trunks, it felt kind of like bold and boring. There was not much to it, and I was like, wait a minute, I have a cool idea. I'm going to make them like having a round table around them where you can stand and lean on. So yeah, so this all happens sometimes with me, that I'm like doing stuff and then like getting suddenly a random idea, and then I'm going to, of course, do that. And also with some tree trunk getting out of the roof a little bit. It's more of decoration. It's not actually tree bark, but it's just like decoration here and there. I'm probably going to do it a few times here and there in this whole bar. I have to see how, but I may be considering still to maybe like having a tree trunk going over the ceiling a little bit. I think that's pretty cool. I'm also considering to let these chandeliers move a little bit. I have to be careful with the gameplay thermo, but I think that's what I'm going to do. So yeah, so this is basically everything what I have been doing so far in this creation. In the next video, it's hopefully with a lot more new stuff. The bar is basically almost done. I'm not have to do much in the bar besides a few details, placing a few details, randomly details here and there. But I'm mostly going to focus more on the outside of the world again, like the staircase. We still need to do the staircase, and we still need to do the environment a little bit, like the backdropping a little bit with the house place and the grass fields in the distance. So when you're basically like walking outside or like walking in the bar and you look like outside the window, now we see like this is not going to be the view, by the way, but this is going to be like you can see like in the distance with the mountains in the background, and that's what I want. And on the other side, if you sit here, you can like look at the village. So yeah, so in the next video that I'm going to release, it's probably something about I don't know, about the outside stuff. I really enjoy this creation, to make this creation so much. If you are watching this video and if you made it this far in this video, please let me know in the comments if you like this. It really helps me a lot. So yeah, I really want to say for those who have like been watching all this and all the series so far, you are a champ. Thank you so much for watching and supporting me. Really helps me to keep doing Dreams content from time to time. It sounds like I'm done, but I'm not done. There will be probably a few videos after this still, but it's getting closer. It's getting closer and closer to the final product, and then I'm going to release it. I'll pull like a release trailer on my video, my YouTube channel, and then I release it on Dreamiverse, so you can explore it yourself. I think the most time consuming is the dialogue stuff and the UI a little bit, the main menu. There's so much more that I still need to do, but it's that's the least fun part of everything. Again, thank you so much for watching, and hopefully I will see you in the next video. And as always, don't forget to dream, everybody, and see you in the next video. Bye bye. And for those, this is like the bonus little item. Because I didn't want to like tell this in the first section. So for the people that are curious, like what I mean about like performance wise, inside the bar it's still 30 FPS, and you're probably going to wonder like how did you do this? And like I had to do a few stuff, because like inside the bar there's a lot of characters happening, right? And so yeah, like there's a lot of gameplay turmoil. And so if you're like inside the bar, a lot of stuff happening here. So with the characters, there's like fire, like everything is like working and stuff like that and moving. Although they're not really moving, they're just like breathing and like. But you get my point. There's like characters and they are breathing and moving. So like it's using gameplay term. So if you go inside this bar, you hit the 29, 30 FPS, and before I was hitting 25, 26, 27, 28 FPS. And the reason why that was is because like outside of this building, there's also a lot of gameplay happening, like the butterflies, the birds, the little goblins. So like a lot of stuff happening outside that bar as well. So what I made is like as soon as you're going inside the bar, I deactivate a few gameplay stuff that's like outside of the bar. So the goblins are gone, the birds is gone. So the birds are not there anymore. So if you're paying attention, like, hey, the bird just flew away. And he will be back as soon as you're going to open the door. And then also, like, in the distance, there are no birds there. But you cannot see it anyway. Like, it's too far. The trees in front of it. You cannot see it anyway. So it's... why show something if you cannot see it in anyway? So it was like a little bit like useless to do that. So I will show you. This is not done because like I'm going to change this a little bit. So if you're opening the door and if you're walking outside, there you go. Now you see like suddenly the bird is popping up. That's weird, right? That's like that's weird. That's like and now also the goblin. Oh no, now the goblin is back as well. So you can see like it's still not perfect, and the reason why is because like this is more of like a placeholder just to test a few of the performance. And if I walk a little bit further, you can see that the puppets are disabled in the house as well. So if I get closer, they are getting enabled. If I a little bit step down, they're I'm going to change this in the final version. So what I'm going to do in the final version is as soon as you're getting closer to the door, if you're pressing square. So basically, like you're coming up, and like now, basically the characters are not there yet. But if you're going to press square, then I'm going to trigger that these puppets are like activated. So, but you're not going to see that because like it's instant. And as you're walking a little bit further, then as soon as you're hitting a certain point in the level, like a certain point in this bar, it will trigger the doorway, so the door automatically is going to close down again. And then as soon as that happens, everything is like then disabled in the overworld that uses a lot of gameplay thermo. And if I press square again, right, then everything behind me is basically then, yeah, I need to figure out how I'm going to do, because like if you then turn around, then everyone is gone. I need to see how I'm going to do that, but maybe I will do it in the combination. So if you're like walking outside, or if you press square, I know what I'm going to do. If you press square, then the birds and every creature is coming back again, but the bar people are still there. So this is probably going to maybe between the door pad is like the most heaviest part on the gameplay thermo. So this is like maybe you get a little bit of like a frame drop here. But as soon as we're walking outside of the door, and it's like when we start standing here, like where we are right now, the door automatically closes behind us. So now the door is closed. And as soon as that happening, then also the people like are disabled inside the bar again. So now we always, so there's like a little bit of like a few seconds that the FPS goes a little bit under the 27 or 28, 29, because like we making the transition between those two elements that are like gameplay are like switching off and on. But that's still something that's going to be in the final version. This is not how it's working right now, because like I only did it for testing purposes, for performance testing. But that's going to be in the final version. That I am going to do that. So this was a little bit of an extra that I wanted to do. So for the people that were curious about that as well. Now we're actually going to say thank you so much for watching. For people that are also have been watching this bonus part, thank you. I really hope that you that you enjoyed that little bonus one. I'm going to say thank you so much for watching, and I hope I will see you in the next video as well. So bye-bye for now. Bye-bye.